Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, beef. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro. Like,
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. It is our Sunday night NFL Week 2 reactions. Man, turns out some teams that we thought were legit Week 1, maybe not so legit. Turns out teams that we thought were dog shit Week 1 are still dog shit. Some teams that we thought were good in Week 1, turns out they're dog shit. So, I mean, what a wild week. I mean, the Chiefs winning a thriller against the Bengals. The Saints absolutely put it on the Cowboys. The Vikings. I mean, the Vikings and Saints are 2-0. Who would have thought that? I mean, it's wild to think. My Packers. Holy shit. We get a big win. Didn't ask Malik Willis to do a whole lot, but Josh Jacobs, we asked a lot, and he did. They answered, boy, and the defense played great. The Bucks go to Detroit and absolutely win one. Baker Mayfield continues his good play through 2 games again. And to talk about it all, you guys know the guy, my brother from another mother, Mr. Johnny Cruz. Johnny, what's up, my man?
What is going on, man? It's the one of the good things about your team playing on Thursday night or Monday night is being able to just chill on Sunday, watch some Red Zone, and be able to watch the best parts of every game. So it was a lot of fun today. A lot of games came right down to the wire. A lot of games we talked about this morning on this morning's weekend dump. We pointed out the couple that we were interested in, but again, you never know with the NFL. So there were a lot of surprises, a lot of good games today. Some bad play by a lot of players and some bad officiating. It was a weird day, but it was a lot of fun to just be able to chill and just watch some football.
It was, and we'll get into those games here in just a minute. Early, it just kind of before we get into them, your biggest kind of surprise or takeaway from Week 2.
Probably the fact that you really don't know going into each game. You know what I'm saying? That's the great part about the NFL is that you think, oh, well, they're going to blow them out. You say, oh, this should be a really close game. And then, you know what I'm saying, New Orleans.
The Bucs were 8-point dogs on the road. And
We talked about that this morning. That we thought that was, you know what I'm saying? You mentioned that it was a bit much. So you were interested in watching that one. I thought it was honestly, Detroit getting so much hype from what they got last year that they just figured, you know what I'm saying, the Bucs are a lot better than what most people think. And as much as I love Dan Campbell, some questionable decisions made in that game there. You love when he goes for the fake punt, you know what I'm saying, at his own 5-yard line when they make it. But you know what I'm saying, you got at the end of the half there and you wind up, you know what I'm saying, not being able to kick a field goal there because you wind up mismanaging the clock and running out of time there. So it was just it was interesting to see, but I think the main thing is probably New Orleans putting the smackdown on Dallas.
Yeah,
you know
right.
That,
15 in 15 possessions, 15 point, inning points for the Saints when Derek Carr is out there. Wow. It's like
that's a pretty amazing stat, man.
Yeah, guys like him and like Baker Mayfield, I feel like get a lot of shit on. Like people just don't like him. Makes me want to root for them because he's not that bad of a quarterback. Why is he getting all this hate? Why do people think he sucks so bad?
Well, it's because you have those few that the media falls in love with. So like those are the darlings, and then everybody is total shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a perception that they put out there. Not everybody's gonna be Patrick Mahomes, and you know what I'm saying, up to that standard. But there's some good quality quarterbacks out there. Sam Darnold, who isn't the best quarterback, but I've been a fan of. I think
who had that Minnesota?
Right. I think the Jets ruined him. And then look, he went in Minnesota and had a great game in Minnesota. And you know what I'm saying,
it's been since 1994 since the 49ers won a game in Minnesota.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
talk about a great stat now.
Yeah. Let's get into some stat lines here. Oh, let me share the screen here. All right, there we go. We'll jump right into that Vikings 49ers. Like I said, 49ers haven't won a game in Minnesota since 94. Minnesota, 23-17. Brock Purdy was sacked 6 times, the most of his career here. 319 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jordan Mason filling in for CMC, 20 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Debo, 8 for 110. George Kittle, I think he got banged up in this game, was carted off at one point in time. I'm unsure if he came back, but he had 7 for 76 and a touchdown. The Vikings defense, though, was in there. Like I said, sacked Purdy 6 times. Sam Darnold, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. One was for 99 yards to Justin Jefferson, who did get banged up in this game. Tyson Chandler, 10 for 82. Justin Jefferson, 4 for 133 and a touchdown. Jalen Naylor, 5 for 54 and a touchdown. Minnesota, a team that a lot of people didn't give this team much hope. 49ers, were pretty heavily favored in this game. And they handed this game, had this game. It was a lot, 49ers scored 10 points there in the fourth. Other than that, it was 23-7 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Minnesota pretty much had, had this game on lock for the majority of the game. Great game plan by, got to give Brian Flores a shout out with that Vikings defense. He had them ready to play. He had a good plan to go up against San Francisco and Brock Purdy. What a difference having Christian McCaffrey makes. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like
he's the ultimate army. No. I'm with you, but I'm just saying, just having him on the field just changes the attention that the defense has to pay. You know what I'm saying? Has to pay certain guys. But, props to the defense there. Sam Darnold wasn't asked to do a lot, but he did what he had to do. And if you watch the replay of that 99-yard touchdown by Justin Jefferson, props to that official who was running down the field when that play was happening. He had the the sense to stop when Justin Jefferson was making a move so he didn't get in his way. And then he winds up out sprinting the San Francisco defenders to get to the goal line before them, and then to get into position to make a call at the goal line. So, so as much as we shit on the officiating, homeboy was hustling on there, to do his job. But it was a fun game. Minnesota had complete control of that game. San Francisco made, scored some points there late, but Minnesota in total control of that. So props to them for being 2-0, man. Even with their rookie quarterback and all the hype, he got hurt. Oh my God, what are they going to do?
Shout out to KOC, Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like his coaching job. Like when you're, everybody has shit on Sam Darnold, and he just beat a team that, that just handled Aaron Rodgers and the Jets on Monday night with ease. And, and the Vikings defense, maybe the Vikings, man, they're better than obviously right now. I thought they were going to stink all year, and they're 2 wins, already. And it, who knows what could happen.
Yeah.
Early,
coaching. Absolutely. If you're a Vikings fan, you got to feel good about it. Hopefully Justin Jefferson, I know he kind of left, late in the game there with a little tweak or something on him. Hopefully he's good to go for next week. But no, if you're a Vikings fan, you should feel good about your team. Good coaching is big in the NFL, man. So they were prepared for this game against San Francisco, and they did what they had to do.
Yeah, let's get into another game here. The Seahawks go all the way across the States to take on the Patriots. Geno Smith, 33 of 44, 327 yards, 1 touchdown. No Kenneth Walker in this game. Zach Charbonnet, 14 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. DK Metcalf, 10 for 129 and a touchdown. Jackson Smith had 12 for 117. They win 23-20 in overtime. So it's not like the Patriots. Again, another game where the Patriots played tough. That Jacoby didn't ask Jacoby Brissett to do a whole lot. 15-27, 149 yards, 1 touchdown. Ramondre, not quite as big as a game as he had last week, but 21 carries, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. I feel like these are the type of games the Patriots are going to be in, like low scoring, tough, gritty games. Unfortunately, they lost this one today. Seahawks go to 2-0 as they win in overtime, 23-20.
Yeah, I completely agree with you about the Patriots style of play right now. It's play hard defense, run the football. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback manage the game. Don't make any mistakes. And they were in a position to win this ball game at home, hosting Seattle. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned all the numbers that Geno Smith put up. It took every little ounce, you know what I'm saying, of Seattle to win that game. Obviously going into overtime for them to win it. So props to Jared Mayo, again, having his team ready to go. They were in a position to win that game again. Again, good coaching, man. You know what I'm saying? You work with what you got, you know what I'm saying, as far as your roster, and you put your players in the best positions to be successful. He did that 2 weeks in a row. They almost came up with a dub today, but 1-1. I mean, everybody thought New England was going to be, even our own Hall of Famer Scott Cole, but his Patriots, he thought they were going to be the worst team in the league. The worst team in the league is still chilling in Carolina, but props to the New England Patriots coming out strong. Seattle, props to them going across country, like you mentioned, and coming up with a big win. They are 2-0 as they sit and chill and wait for my Dolphins to go cross country up there next week.
Yeah. In Seattle, again, not doing anything spectacular, but finding ways to win games.
And even without their best running back, like you mentioned, they found a way to win the game.
Speaking of finding ways to win the game, finding ways to lose the games. If you're a team like the Giants, you got to be perfect in all 3 aspects of the game to win a game. Today, they weren't perfect. Their kicker got hurt. They missed a couple of 2-point conversions. They're the first team in NFL history to score more than 3 touchdowns, not give up a touchdown. All the Commanders' points were off of field goals and lose 21-18. I mean, the poor Giants. I mean, I literally read that right before we were going online. So that's how bad. That's how it is for the New York Giants. Like Daniel Jones, not great, but not good. I mean, not awful either. 16-28, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devin Singletary, 16 for 95 and a touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 10 for 127 and a touchdown. Now, from what I understand, kind of on the Twitterverse, is that he had a huge drop in this game when they needed it. Yeah. The Commanders win that way, but he caught everything else. I mean, Danny Dimes was looking for him. So you get to the Commanders here. Jaden Daniels, no touchdowns, no interceptions. 23 of 29, 226 yards. Brian Robinson continues his hot start, 17 for 133. Again, the Commanders did score 1 offensive touchdown and still won this game 21-18.
Bro, that's about as rough as it gets to lose a game like that. Like that's I mean, is that like the first time you mentioned that's the first time ever. That's insane. To lose 21-18 like that, not give up a touchdown, and still lose. I know that they went for the extra point, the first touchdown, and the punter attempted it and didn't make it, but you don't even give him another chance. And you telling me in that thick ass playbook, because that these NFL playbooks are huge as hell. You don't have one badass, say a little 2-point conversion play to get 2 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like everything seemed to be kind of like, either, say fade routes or something, what I'm saying? Like you couldn't come up with nothing creative to get one of those 2-point conversions. Like that's crazy to me, man. But that sucks for Giants fans because, as much as Daniel Jones gets shitted on, he actually didn't play bad today.
He didn't lose the game today. He didn't
right.
lose it.
Singletary ran hard today. The defense came ready to play.
Malik
But
Neighbors had a good game. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
he had a big game. That was a big drop, though, bro. And it was right there in his hands. You know what I'm saying? That was a big play in the game to drop that pass there. Washington didn't do anything spectacular. Like you mentioned, they didn't score any touchdowns. But the Daniels kid, he looks good, man. And I'm glad that there wasn't as many, called quarterback run plays. He did scramble a bit and make some plays. He got down when he needed to get down. He still wound up running, like 10 times or whatever, but they weren't as many called quarterback runs and stuff like that. So it was better, but he was efficient. He's only going to get better. So take advantage now, NFC East, because that kid is going to be good.
Yeah, and they got some talent around him too. It's going to take some time. Let's get into. Is it safe to say, Johnny, the Bryce Young era should be over? A bust? I don't know, but the 26-3. Bryce Young's had one win in his career. He's got 2 wins as a starter. But Justin Herbert, didn't have to do much. 14-21, 32 touchdowns today. J.K. Dobbins continues looks like he's fully healthy after all the injuries. 17 carries, 131 yards, 1 touchdown. Gus Edwards, 18 for 59. Quentin Johnston, Stonehands, redeems himself after all these times. 5 for 51 and 2 touchdowns. I don't think there's any real reason to read the stat line for the Panthers. Bryce Young, 18-26, only 84 yards passing. That's awful. I know we give out dogs and turds, but we could literally give the Panthers a turd of the week every week. So I think
right. Let's just try to be nice. I think we gave it to them last week. Didn't they get it last week?
No, I gave mine to the Giants.
Okay. I don't remember who my turd was last week, but it might have been Carolina. I don't know. But yeah, I feel you on that one. Like, it's just, you'd hate to say, after 1 year and a couple games as a kid is a number 1 overall pick a bust, but it definitely was the wrong decision. And that's squarely that's
CJ Stroud is, you know what I mean?
Right, especially seeing how good CJ Stroud is turning out to be. But that's solely on the owner there. He made that decision. He ain't got nobody to blame but himself. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when non-football people make football decisions. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I feel bad for Carolina fans, but don't you know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll do the right thing and just say they'll probably get the first pick overall, and then you say hopefully this next quarterback works out. But you hate to call him a bust already, but he looks like he's playing scared out there, which I don't blame him because that offensive line can't protect him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like, and he's small, man. So he's probably like, I'm getting abused back here, but it sucks. It sucks for him, but I don't even know really what to say about the Carolina Panthers, bro. There's really not much to say about them except for, it's going to be a long season, bro.
Yeah, it is going to be long. Scott says, "Hey, you can beat any team 7 field goals unless it's
and not for nothing, but Harbaugh is definitely showing the type of team that he's going to be. You mentioned the J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. I think they ran the ball like 40 something times. Like those two together ran the ball, I think 35 times. Yeah. So he's running the ball, playing good defense, and he's got a big, strong arm quarterback back there that he's asking to not do too much. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Chargers going forward.
Probably a lot until some of these young wide receivers develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But that's the style he likes to play. He likes to run the ball, play good defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly, that's what you're going to have to do against the Kansas Cities and teams like that is run the ball, keep their offense on the sideline.
Yeah. Let's get into what may be the shock of the day. I said it, 15 possessions for the Saints in 2 games. All had points in them. Derek Carr, 11 for 16, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Alvin Kamara, 20 carries, 115 yards, not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. Definitely caliber for dog of the day. Rashid Sheedy, 4 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Alvin also caught a touchdown, 2 for 65 and a touchdown. So not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 total touchdowns today. He outscored the Cowboys by himself. Dak Prescott played like the $1 million man, 27-39, 293 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. There was nothing in the running game. CeeDee Lamb had 4 for 90 and a touchdown. this was, I mean, this game was, it seemed like the Saints just kept pouring it on. I mean, 14-3, 21-30, then they scored 21 in the second, and then they kind of, but you know, you can put the kind of on cruise control in the second half. I mean, the Cowboys, Dan Quinn had them, it seemed like a cohesive unit, and the new DC, what's his name? He was the former Mike Zimmer's always had a preset defense, but man, they need to get together in Big D because the Saints went in there and just, I mean, put it on them.
Yeah, and there was so much, hype about the Cowboys with their, defensive effort last week against the Browns. But I mentioned this game this morning in the morning show that I was interested to see, how New Orleans was going to come out. That I knew that they put it on Carolina last week, but it was just Carolina. But that offense was humming. We're going to find out about Dallas, and the Saints just absolutely blitzed them. You mentioned all the numbers there. You're saying Derek Carr didn't have to do all that much, and still still threw for 200 plus yards, a couple touchdowns. But Alvin Kamara is still showing why he's one of the best. All around running backs in this league. Not only running but receiving as well. His third touchdown was absolutely sick because he looked like he was tackled and then all of a sudden just kind of just squeezes out of the hole and runs for that touchdown. It was crazy. That was a fun game to watch. Sorry, Alan. I know Alan was feeling sick today, boy. But yeah, Dallas. I mean, you hate to see it, but then again, you don't. You love to see it. But props to the Saints and the Saints fans. Off to a nice start, 2-0. Good for them.
Yeah, 2-0, and them and the Bucks, man. This looks like a lot of fun in that division right now. Yeah. Atlanta plays tomorrow, but it's, man, like the Saints look real. I mean, they got a new offensive coordinator, and they have uploaded this whole offense, and it is it's coming right now. Alvin Kamara was it felt like the Alvin Kamara of old, so today. So we'll see. And the Cowboys defense is going to have to get it together. Johnny, I obviously watched this game 16-10. Green Bay's defense was able to kind of help them get out early. Green Bay scores one offensive touchdown, kicks a bunch of field goals, but we win 16-10. Anthony Richardson, one touchdown, 3 interceptions. The touchdown actually came late. It was almost like a garbage time touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 12 for 103. I mean, that's pretty much it. Alec Pierce had 5 for 56. The Packers, it was all Josh Jacobs. Hey, we're not going to ask Malik Willis to do a whole lot. Only 14 attempts in passing, 122 yards. And other than that, 32 carries for Josh Jacobs. I mean, last week, you know what they do? They took the implement that the Texans did, 20 carries to Joe Mixon, and he ran it down the Colts' throats. They said, okay, Josh, we need you here. 32 carries for 151. Would have had a touchdown, but it got called back. Malik Willis's lone touchdown went to Datavion Wicks. He didn't play awful. Like I said, we played in front not most of that game and was able to hold off on it. With the three interceptions, the defense played good. Packers win and kind of an upset.
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win is a win. We talked about it when Jordan Love got hurt that we were going to find out what kind of coaching chops LaFleur had. And it's a simple game plan, bro. When you don't have your number one quarterback there, you're going to lean on the running game. 53 run attempts is insane, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Josh Jacobs is that type of guy who he is a workhorse type. He definitely carried the load there for that team there. Anthony Richardson, man, I like his athleticism and stuff. He's obviously got a cannon for an arm, but bro, he misses so many wide open guys, bro. It's just like, wow, bro. Hopefully he figures it out because he's going to be fun to watch.
He's Cam Newton-esque.
Yeah, and I mean, and yeah, Cam was fun to watch, and he won football games, and he had that one great year. He won the MVP. They went to the Super Bowl, but he got exposed in that Super Bowl against Denver when that defense just did not allow him to run the ball or do what he normally likes to do, and when he had opportunities to hit open guys, he couldn't, and I'm seeing a lot of that from Anthony Richardson as well, but. Props to your Packers for doing what they had to do to get an ugly win. But a win is a win, bro. And they're 1-1 now.
Yeah, and again, a good head coach tailors his offense to what it can do. We're not going to run the same plays that we did with Jordan Love with Malik Willis because they're two different type of quarterbacks. So I can't call 50. I can't even call 15 passes make it 20 and 20. You know what I mean?
Right.
They lean heavily on the run. Malik, when he took what the defense gave him to him, and then when it wasn't there, hey, pull it down, and he ran. As well, and as long and they ran some screen plays and in the rounds type stuff with Jaden Reed, and defense played good enough to win the game. So
absolutely, you craft the game plan according to the personnel that you have, man, and that's what good coaches do. So good job on them. I mean, Indianapolis knew exactly what you were saying. Like Green Bay wasn't hiding it. They said we're gonna run the ball at you, and they just couldn't stop.
Well, if you're Indy, why I don't understand why you just don't load up the box. Like why just I'm playing goal line stance. You know what I mean? The whole damn game.
Right. Dare them to throw the ball.
It's going to be one-on-one on the outside. If you know what your guy beats my guy, then we'll live and die with it. But hey, if you're going to let us run it with Josh Jacobs, 30 some odd times, then.
I would have had 8 in the box all day, bro.
I would have had all 11 probably.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I would have had the 2 corners, a safety, and everybody else. On the outside. Everybody else up on the line. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9 guys up on the line.
There's one guy we're not gonna let us beat us. They're not gonna run the ball on us. We're gonna make Willis beat us, but instead, hey, glad they did it, and glad that Josh Jacobs got the job done.
Absolutely, man. I got him on my fantasy too, so that was good.
Man, speaking of not getting the job done, I don't know if there's two more disappointing quarterbacks that are currently playing for their respective teams. And 2 guys who got a lot of money, Deshaun Watson and T-Law, and they played against each other. Their teams played against each other today. Browns win 18-13. This Doug Peterson's got to be on his way out. You're in Florida. I know not quite the Jacksonville area, but I mean, Jesus, they got to be tired of Doug Peterson. It's got to be Doug that can't beat T-Law because they gave T-Law that money.
I hear you on that, boy. But if you were an owner, bro, I'd be scared to work for you, bro. You you are so quick to want to fire motherfuckers, bro.
It's year 3, and there's no improvement.
Well, I mean, I hear you on that.
I'm not David Temper here.
No. That's right. Yeah. I mean, I would hope you would at least let the coaches and the front office draft the quarterback that they wanted. But yeah, you got a little bit of George Steinbrenner in you, bro. You ready to fire, motherfucker?
Hey, we gotta win. It's all about winning. We ain't not improving.
Yeah, especially you know what I'm saying that first year they made the playoffs. They had that great comeback win against the Chargers. And then, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I picked Trevor Lawrence to be my dark horse MVP last year. He, of course, plays like shit and gets hurt. And then they're off to an 0-2 start. I mean, they were a few plays away from beating us last week, which, I mean, that don't say much, but they could have easily been 1-1. But it just looks ugly. You know what I'm saying? That was just some ugly football for both of them. Like, I don't know if Doug Peterson needs to be fired yet. It's 2 games in. We'll see in a few more weeks. But
on the current track that they're on, he needs to go.
I'm not that hasty to want to fire somebody that fast. I feel you though, but they gotta get some stuff fixed. Because it's just ugly looking football. Cleveland didn't look that much better. Their defense is just that good.
And Doug Peterson already did the whole "it's not you, it's not me, it's them" thing when he fired his coordinators and hired 2 new coordinators. So he already did that. So
yeah. I didn't realize that he fired his coordinators already, but
he did the whole "it's not you, it's not me, it's them." The guys I hired, I'm an idiot. I didn't hire the wrong guy, so it's not me, it's them.
Right? Yeah,
but I fucked that one up. I won't fuck it up this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you on that, bro. That was an ugly game right there, bro.
I mean, the Browns. Deshaun Watson, 22 of 34, 186. Jerome Ford, 7. They didn't do anything either. You know what I mean? Of any substance. 5 of 73. Like there's like one touchdown. Deshaun had a rushing touchdown, and that was it. Their defense played a lot better. Trevor Lawrence, 14 of 30, 220 yards. Travis Etienne, 13 for 52 and a touchdown. Other than that, there wasn't nothing in the passing game. The Jaguars are disappointing. They stink. Maybe I'm just mad because, like you, I had Trevor Lawrence super stoked high up at like when I first watched him play. I was like, man, this guy's going to be so good. He's going to tear the league up. And he hasn't done nothing but shit the fucking bed. And he got paid this offseason and continues to shit the bed. That team stinks, whether it's Doug. And they got to get – that's what I'm saying. They can't get rid of T-Law because you just paid him a bunch of money. For one player.
I hear you on that as well, but he needs to step his game up as well. Trevor Lawrence.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to get rid. He needs to step his game up. I agree, but here's the thing: you can't get rid of him because you just paid him all that money. But you can get. You can go get his third coach.
His third coach in 4 years.
Yeah.
No. It was that was one of the uglier games. I'm with you on that one. Cleveland didn't do much better. They just have a much better defense. Made the plays that they needed to make, late in that game to win that game. But that Jacksonville fans are I'm sure are very frustrated right now with an 0-2 start.
Yeah.
What's going on, Alan?
What up, Alan? Again, speaking of shitty quarterback play, poor Sam's got to sit here and watch the Titans play and Will Levis play quarterback. It's 24-17. Jets win. They scored 17. They only scored one offensive touchdown because one was a block punt, right? They scored off a block punt. I think they had a fumble too. His turnovers are just 20. Aaron Rodgers, 18 of 30, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. Breece Hall, 14 for 62. Breece Hall caught a touchdown. Barone Allen, who had him 7 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown, also caught a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 4 for 57. You look at Will Levis, 19 of 28, 192, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Again, not great. Calvin Ridley, 4 for 77 and a touchdown. Somebody's playing quarterback. Whether it's Bryce Young, whether it's Trevor Lawrence right now, whether it is Will Levis. Jesus.
It just seems like he just makes the worst decisions at the worst times late in game. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to learn to just sometimes you just got to take the sack. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to play hero ball and just make the play. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's always when he tries to do that little bit extra that it winds up being catastrophic, because it's not like it's just a simple turnover. Like he's giving up points sometimes too. So again, he's young. He's going to continue to develop. That Titans defense though came to play.
That Titans defense is good. Like the interior defense is good.
Oh, absolutely. Their linebackers are good. You know what I'm saying? They got a good squad on D.
Only if they had a defensive head coach, that
right,
want to bring it everywhere, and knew how to play good, solid offense, good deep, good hard, just run the ball or play good. Only if they had that guy,
Yeah, right.
Only if they had a good, coach like that.
If only, but I know Jet fans are going to be
they did have Mike Vrabel.
Right? Yeah, right. I was obviously, as a Dolphin fan, I was hoping that Sam's Titans could pull it off. But Jet fans are going to be pounding their chest, because of this win. But you guys didn't look all that great. It took a comeback, for you guys to win that game, and some mistakes, again, by Tennessee for them to win that game. Breece Hall is a stud. That touchdown catch was – a lot of people are, oh, my God, what a throw by Aaron Rodgers. He just threw it up there, bro. Breece Hall made that play on that touchdown pass. So, but, the Jets with good defensive play there. But, it's always – it's not just the turnover; it's the catastrophic turnover where you give up points on the turnover too. It's just those are backbreakers, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it how he develops along with these other young quarterbacks. Talk about Will Levis, but I think he has the skill set to be better if he can cut down on the turnovers and stop with the hero ball. He's mobile. He's got a good arm. He's a tough kid. I think there's still potential there for that Titans team.
Yeah, we get into the next one. I called it like I said. The Bucks. I didn't know if they'd win the game outright, but I said take the points, and they win outright, 20-16. It wasn't quite MVP Baker today. 12-19, 185, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Did rush for a touchdown as well. Chris Godwin 117 and a touchdown. But this Bucks defense, it's so good. What people don't understand is when they won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, they were so young, and it felt like injuries have derailed them the last few years. But they've gotten so much better. Amon St. Brown gets hurt in this game as well. But Jared Goff, 34-55, 307 yards, but two interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, 13 for 84. David Montgomery, 11-35 and a touchdown. Amon, before he got kind of banged up, 11 for 119. Jamison Williams, 5 for 79. Bucks win in a close one here, 20-16 to go to 2-0, and the Lions fall to 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it, too, is, you saw the stats there. Jared Goff throwing the ball 55 times for a Detroit team that's predicated on their offensive line and being able to run the ball and being more physical than their opponent. They weren't able to do that against the Bucks. Shout out to Todd Bowles and his job with his Bucks team. That team is always prepared. It wasn't MVP Baker, like you said, but that last drive, the last 2 plays in particular were both running plays that he ran himself, including the game-winning touchdown. So I'm honestly happy for Baker Mayfield. I know people down here in Tampa are loving it right now. They look good. The Saints are looking good. That NFC South that everybody was kind of poo-pooing on might have a couple of pretty good teams. Again, it's only 2 weeks in, so we can't get too high or too low on these teams. But so far, the Bucks look pretty good.
There are some teams you can get too low on. Panthers, we can get too low.
You might as well. You already saw fans with the paper bags on their heads and stuff in Carolina, man. So you can definitely tell when a team is just not going to be any good. But so far, the Bucks look pretty good. That defense, you mentioned it, that they were young. They drafted well. A lot of their defense are draft picks that they've developed and stuff like that. So if Baker keep playing the way he's playing, they can stay healthy. They got a chance to make some noise, especially in the NFC.
And they got some weapons too. You know what I mean? Like they got some weapons. Let's get into the next one here. Maybe another shocker of the day. The Raiders shocked the Ravens 26-23. 13 unanswered points here in the fourth quarter for the Raiders to win 26-13. This game looked like the Ravens had it intact just all the way through, and then just the Ravens always find a way to blow double-digit leads, I feel like, somehow. It's weird, and they win. Gardner Minshew, 30 for 38, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Zamir White, 9 carries for 24. Devontae, 9 for 110 and a touchdown. Lamar, 21 to 34, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Derrick Henry, bigger game this week, 18 for 84 and a touchdown. Zay Flowers, 7 for 91 and a touchdown. But more importantly, Johnny, Ravens fall to 0-2. Is it time to what's the panic meter here for the Ravens?
That's hard to say, the panic meter after 2 weeks, but I'm sure they're frustrated. It was a big double-digit, lead that they've given away for God knows how many times they've done it so many times.
Yeah.
The defense is a pretty good defense. Definitely not the defenses of old. And as much as Lamar Jackson is a great player, in those crunch times where you need your quarterback to make a quarterback play. Yeah, he can't always do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He can't always hit that open guy when they just need those 7-8 yards for that first down. He can't always be on point, like he needs to be. In those situations late in the game where you kind of just want to grind out the clock. They were stacking the box, to stop the run, even though Derrick Henry was, pounding on the Raiders. But the Raiders did what they had to do. Even though I didn't agree with Antonio Pierce talking about Tua needs to retire, I'm a fan of his. I'm happy that he got the opportunity to coach the team, full time after after he took over last season. So I'm happy for the Raiders, and it could have happened to a better franchise than the Baltimore Ravens to be 0-2 right now.
Yeah, I would probably put it at like a 2 or a 3 right now. They're 0-2, but so are the Bengals. The Bengals are 0-2. I don't know who they could turn this thing. They got enough talent on that team to kind of turn this thing around. Steelers are obviously leading that division now at 2-0. We'll get to their game. But man, speaking of just an absolutely, we got some dogs in this game, Johnny. This was an offensive explosion here by the Cardinals. Rams fall to 0-2, 41-10. This game was out of hand before it even blink.
Right.
Matthew Stafford absolutely did nothing. 19-27, 216 yards. The running game just wasn't there because they were down so much. And Cooper Kupp gets banged up in this game. He was seen in a boot afterwards, so the injuries for the Rams continue to mount up. But Kyler Murray, 17-21, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Conner, 21 of 122 and a touchdown. Remember, Kyler, I got onto Kyler saying, hey, Marvin, he said it's not his job to throw the ball to Marvin or something like that or get him open or whatever. But he got the ball to Marvin today, 4 for 130, not 1 but 2 touchdowns for the young rookie. I'd say he had a bounce back game. 6 for 67 for Trey McBride. Your thoughts here on the absolute shellacking that the Cardinals gave the Rams today?
An absolute surprise, to be quite honest. They absolutely blitzed the Rams. Like, there was no shot for the Rams from jump. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Cardinals hit them over the head quick with a couple of bombs early to jump ahead of them 14-0, and it was just the Rams just weren't able to come back. Arizona played really good defense. Kyler did what he had to do. Extended the play, got some yards with his legs when they needed it. James Conner is always a workhorse type of back. He had a really good game. Everybody was saying that Arizona, was going to be shitty this year, and everybody was praising the Rams and they might compete with San Francisco for the who knows, man. And again, I know it's only week 2 or whatever, but one thing I think we said this a lot last year about this Arizona team is that young coach there, I keep forgetting his damn name, but he has that team ready to play every single game. They're prepared. They seem to want to play for him. So props to the Arizona Cardinals for absolutely just manhandling the Rams. That gave them absolutely no shot to win that game or to even come back, bro. They suffocated them completely, bro.
Yeah, let's get into the game of the day. I think there was like 7 lead changes in this game. 26-25. Butker kicks the game winner as time kind of expires here. 26-25. Man, the Bengals had a stop on 4th and 16, and they get a PI called on them. And that pretty much secures it for Butker's field goal kick. And Chiefs 2-0 by a toe. You know what I mean? So Joe Burrow, 23-36, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Bengals looked a lot better in this game than they did, week 1. 12 carries for 34 yards, 4 for 31 for Chase Brown. I think they got to start giving him the ball. Every time he touches it, it feels like he's got 10 yards or more. Mike Gesicki, your old friend, 7 for 91. Only 4 receptions for Jamar Chase. A lot of tight ends in this game. You get to the Chiefs here. Not a great game by Patrick Mahomes. 18-25, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of them was by Cameron Breda.
Bro,
I mean,
that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah, mossed it. Isaiah Pacheco, 19 for 90. Rashid Rice, 5 for 75. Xavier Worthy only had 2 receptions. I mean, Travis Kelce, did you know the season has started? Only 1 reception for 5 yards. He did have one big one that got called back on a holding. But Chiefs, Johnny, they somehow, some way find a way to win.
They seem to do that, and a game where Patrick Mahomes throws 2 interceptions and he doesn't seem to be on point like he normally is. That's when you gotta get them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta win that game. The Bengals came out with a good game plan. You mentioned all the tight ends getting in on the game plan this week. They had trouble last week against Isaiah Likely. So Cincinnati had the game plan to use the tight ends. I just got to say real quick on the Mike Gesicki thing, because there's Dolphin fans out there that are like, oh, is he stop with the, you know what I'm saying, slurping Mike Gesicki now, talking about the Dolphins should have kept Mike Gesicki. Please, bro. He's still soft as a Twinkie filling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had a good game today, you know what I'm saying, for the Cincinnati Bengals. Props to him. He just happened to be a tight end that they were going to use, you know what I'm saying? And all the tight ends ate for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he, you know what I'm saying? If you
He
notice,
he can catch the ball.
he can catch the ball. It's after that where he doesn't want to get touched. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for him or whatever. But for all the Dolphin fans that talk about, oh, we should have never stop. Please stop it. Move on, yo. Let it go. But yeah, the Cincinnati Bengals had an opportunity to win that game. And again, when you got Patrick Mahomes turning the ball over twice, you have to take advantage of that.
That's the game you got to win. That's the game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because they don't. You know what I'm saying? That they don't tend to do that to themselves often.
Yeah.
As far as Kansas City make those kind of mistakes or whatever, but what they did, and you got to take advantage of that, man.
Yeah. And then let's get into the last game. Steelers win 13-6. They continue to find a way to win ugly. This Steelers defense. Broncos fall to 0-2. Justin Fields, 13 for 20, 117, one touchdown. Najee, 17 for 69. George Pickens only had 2, and Pat Fairmouth had 4 receptions. So nothing to write home here. It was just a defensive game. Again, Bo Nix, 2 interceptions, 4 carries for 25 yards. Javonte had 11 for 17, and nothing in the passing game for too much. But Steelers find a way. They're not lighting the world on fire, but Justin Fields isn't losing them the games either, Johnny.
Absolutely, man. And if you watched that game, that obviously was one of the 4:00 games. So when you're watching in the red zone, there's only the 3 games or whatever for them to go back up. So I actually saw quite a bit of that Pittsburgh game. There were a few completions to Pickens that were actually called back because of holding penalties. There was a offensive pass interference, which was, to me, was a BS. It was a soft call for them to take away a touchdown from Pickens. So the numbers would have been a little bit better there for Justin Fields and for Pittsburgh. But again, a Mike Tomlin coach team prepared to play, do whatever they got to do to win the game, play good defense, run the ball. Don't ask the quarterback to do too much. He didn't make any mistakes. He seemed to make the right play. Again, a couple penalties took back some, some chunk plays from them too. Or those numbers would have looked a lot better. But I'm actually happy for Justin Fields. I'm a Justin Fields fan. I thought he got the short end of the stick in Chicago, but I couldn't be happier for where he landed with an organization like Pittsburgh and a coach like Mike Tomlin. Hopefully he holds on to that job there, and we'll see what happens with that division, especially with Cincinnati being 0-2 now and Baltimore being 0-2 now. I mean, Pittsburgh has a real shot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's still a lot of season left, but you know what I'm saying, so far so good for Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're Pittsburgh, do you start Justin Fields, or do you let Russ kind of come in?
I mean, to me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just keep riding Justin Fields. Because then if you bring in, first of all, you're gonna mess with his confidence if you just, you know what I'm saying, even though you named Russell Wilson the starter before, you know what I'm saying, you ride the hot hand, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens, you go back to Russ when he comes back, and if he has a shitty game, you know what I'm saying, and you pull him for Justin Fields, are you gonna go back again and let Russ start? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just ride it out. You know what I'm saying? Let Russ know, hey, you know what I'm saying? This kid is playing, we're winning. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to mess that up. I would just keep it going.
I'm right there with you. I probably ride Fields, ride the hot hand. Again, he's not beat. He's not there. He's doing enough to win you games.
Right. But he's not losing you games though.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
And he's got that extra dynamic by, you know what I'm saying, yes, Russ can move around or whatever, but Justin's got that second and third gear. You know what I'm saying? So he has the potential to make a big play for you with his legs as well. So I would just keep riding out Justin Fields, man.
I'm right there with you. Johnny, let's go ahead. Let's get into our dogs and turds of the week. We'll start with our turd of the week. Who is your turd of the week?
My turd of the week is again, you mentioned we could go with Carolina pretty much every week this season, which again, I hate to say that about the Carolina fans there, but my turd of the week is actually none other than Mr. Tony Romo.
Okay.
I cannot listen to my man announce a game, especially if it's a Chiefs game, and then it's even that much worse if it's Chiefs Bengals, because the quarterback slurping that this man does. And I love the quarterback position. The reason I'm a Dolphin fan is because of Dan Marino. I played quarterback growing up. I love watching quarterbacks. And yes, Patrick Mahomes is this generation's best player, you'll say it, at the position. But not everything is great. Like the word great has lost all meaning. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell me that a simple check down to his running back is, oh, what a great decision there by Patrick. Are you fucking kidding me? And then he did it to Joe Burrow too. Like you know what I'm saying? They had this penalty that kind of got them out of field goal range. He takes the simple check down to get them back in field goal range, and that's just great quarterback play. Are you
elite,
serious, bro?
Elite level, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
great
level.
quarterback play.
Yeah.
Taking the obvious open guy to get you back into field goal range is great. Again, the word great has lost all meaning. I literally had to mute it whenever Red Zone went to the Kansas City game, just because I could not hear him anymore, bro. It was that annoying. So yes, Tony Romo is my turd of the week.
Woo, man. I was kind of thinking I was kind of going back and forth, but my turd of the week is none other than Trevor Lawrence, T-Law. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I mentioned it, lose again today. His stat line, 14-30, 220 yards, no touchdowns. And I get the Browns defense is pretty good, but we saw what the Cowboys did to them last week, and you're telling me you couldn't do that. Could have gave the turn to the Colts defense as well, as we talked about. But I'm gonna give Trevor Lawrence, and just like I said, his contract, 5 years, $275 million contract extension. He got this, and $142 million guaranteed. He is sure not playing like that type of elite level quarterback right now. So my turn of the week for week 2 is none other than Trevor Lawrence.
That's well deserved too, bro.
Who's your dog of the week?
My dog is the one and only Alvin Kamara of the Saints. You mentioned it when you were doing his stats, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 1 receiving, 20 for 115 and 3 touchdowns rushing, 2 for 65 and a touchdown receiving. And again, that 3rd touchdown, I don't know how the hell he got out of the grasp of some of these Dallas defenders. Like I thought it was a 3-yard gain, and all of a sudden he just squirts out and boom, he's gone for the touchdown. Alvin Kamara is my dog of the week. Shout out to Jonathan Grisham and his New Orleans Saints 2-0.
Yeah, my dog of the week is going to be none other than Marvin Harrison Jr. Last week, 1 catch and absolutely nothing. This week, 4 for 130, not 1, but 2 touchdowns, an average of 32.5 yards per reception. I'd say my man's going to be pretty good, going forward. So, he balled out today. Marvin Harrison Jr. is my NFL Week 2 dog of the week.
Yeah, I'm happy for the kid too, because he was catching a lot of heat last week with the 1 catch for 4 yards or whatever it was. But big game for him. And again, they hit the Rams over the head from jump. And it was him catching those deep bombs. So good for Marvin Harrison.
Scott says the Cowboys are the turd of the week. Joe Montana, Roger. I mean, might as well have been out there. Carr looked good, but this is it's week 2. I don't really know other than what we learned. It's hard. I take it a quarter at a time, man. You know what I mean? So we still got 2 more weeks left of this first quarter of the season to kind of figure out some of these teams. I wouldn't say to me like through 2 weeks, like where I'm like, oh, that looks like the best team right now. You know what I mean? We thought the 49ers looked like one of the best teams, and they went into Minnesota today and lost. The Chiefs struggled. It really are 2-0, but have struggled. Could be 0-2.
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to say after 2 weeks, as far as like a powerhouse team or whatever. I mean, the Chiefs are obviously the Chiefs, they're defending champs, Patrick Mahomes. But for all the stuff that everybody was talking about, the AFC being so much better than the NFC, there's only 4 AFC teams that are 2-0. You know what I'm saying? But props to the Minnesota Vikings and the Saints, the Bucks, for them handling their business the first 2 weeks to get off to a 2-0 starts.
Yeah, I would say to me that's the surprise. The Saints are the surprise team.
Yeah,
2-0. Or actually, the Vikings. I take that back.
Yeah, the Vikings. I mean, what makes the Saints so surprising is the way they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? They're absolutely slaughtering people. You know what I'm saying? They're just, I'm saying, that's the stat about the 15 offensive possessions when Derek Carr's in the game. Yeah, they've scored points. So props to them. You know what I'm saying, for doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I know it's only 2 weeks, but those fan bases should feel good about their teams. It's better to be 2-0 than 0-2. So we'll see what happens going further. But you know what I'm saying, happy for those fan bases.
In the Bengals and a couple of, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you'll be all right. You're gonna be all right. You're probably gonna there's still a lot of season left. The Panthers, the Titans, the Giants.
Yeah, the Titans. The Titans are gonna sneak up and bite some people though.
It's gonna be a long season.
The Panthers are absolutely like.
It's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season in New York too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. The Giants, bro. Like, I mean, you hold.
I think the Giants. It started in the offseason with that Hard Knocks and how bad they looked, how dumb they looked. I
mean, I don't know, man. Maybe that Hard Knocks curse is true, bro. For real,
like, they all gonna look bad.
We got on Hard Knocks, and everybody and their mother started getting hurt. And then say this offseason, the Giants. You'll say so. Yeah, maybe avoid Hard Knocks, but again, it's just 2 weeks in, people. So don't get too. Allen, don't start. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too trippy over your Cowboys getting stomped out this week. You know what I'm saying? It's only 2 weeks.
Well, they stomped the Browns, and then you get stomped out by the Saints.
Right? So yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's how quick shit can change. Yeah. But I'm with you. I take it by quarter. So we're 2 weeks into the first quarter of the season, and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of games that we thought were going to be turned out to be really good games. So. I'm excited for this season, man. I'm so glad that we're this deep into football. So,
yeah, most definitely. Program note, folks. There will be no morning dump next week. I'm be out of town, but we'll be back. We will do a week 3. I should be back in time to do the week 3 reaction show. So I forgot to throw up the dog of the week there when we did our dogs, but hey, nonetheless, we'll be back. We'll be back next Sunday night at 7:00 Central, 8 Eastern, for week 3. Giving out dogs and turds, and man, who knows what happens week 3? The NFL is week to week, and it's some guys played well last week, didn't play great this week, and some teams,
It's the NFL, man. You got to come ready to play. You know what I'm saying? You got to strap them on and be ready to play every week.
Like I said, we talked about, like, I think if you're if you're a Dolphin, real quick, if as a Dolphin fan, like, you watch the Packers win today, like, that's got to give you hope. Like, hey, our quarterback, if we can do the same type of similar stuff, you know what I mean? Play good defense and just heavily rely. You guys got a 3-headed monster running back room.
Right. And that's, we talked about it this morning on the show, so definitely check it out. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, hit that like button. But yeah, man, it's you a good coaching staff, you know what I'm saying, does what they have to do with the players that they have in hand. Your quarterback's down. You need to find other ways. You have talent on the field, so you need to find a way to get the ball into those playmakers' hands. Obviously play good defense and see what happens here. But, you know what I'm saying, it was great news to hear that, you know what I'm saying, Tua decided that he's not going to retire, which I figured, you know what I'm saying, so Dolphin fans calm down, at least the ones that, you know what I'm saying, aren't, because there's a whole half of the Dolphin fan base that don't like the kid anyway. You know what I'm saying? And probably was hoping that he would retire, which is insane to me, this fan base. But, yeah, man, we're going to find out a lot about Mike McDaniel over these next few weeks. If he can do, you know what I'm saying, if he's really that smart and that much of a genius, let's see what you could do with all this talent around a young quarterback. Let's see if you can make some things happen.
Yeah. Again, we'll be back next week for week 3. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you then. For my guy, Johnny Cruz, I'm Bodkins. It's been another great episode of the Bodkins Show. Be a friend, tell a friend. So we'll see you next week.
Peace.